with me, my project manager, Mr. Amana DIP. And here, the agenda of the presentation is very simple. I'm not going to take you for long because I know already it's a weekend. It's already in the afternoon time. So basically, I just wanted to introduce my company, the loading systems, its products, and our partnership with Amana all these years, present partnershiping, then also for the future jobs. So I will straight away take you to a PowerPoint presentation, which I have included some videos because I feel the videos or on-site demonstration is always good for a product like us, because just talking won't be giving you a lot of answers or understanding. So I have included some videos which shows you about our products. Anyway, this is my company, Loading System. This is the logo. So please remember us when you see this logo next time. And we have a corporate office in Netherlands, and with branch offices, almost 16 plus offices all over the Europe. And we have two offices in the Middle East. The first one was this Dubai office, and last 2 years back we have opened an office in Qatar. So I'll just take you to the more details. So basically, loading system specializes in total solutions. I would like to emphasize the word total here because we are the specialist in loading, unloading equipments. And regardless of your specific requirements, the basic principle of loading system is again highlighted with the tagline, "We take care." That is our tagline. So, and as you know, as most of you know that we are the manufacturers and we are not the agents actually. We are the manufacturers, so who is involved in the production, designing, and managing of the complete project, including supervision after sales service and annual maintenance contract. And we have our special R&D department, which is in Netherlands, who takes care of the latest development in the market, the customer requirements, project requirements, etc. So this company was established in 1965 in Netherlands. That means it's a 53-year-old company, and run by twin brothers, and it's still running as a family-owned company. And of course, we are one of the three major manufacturers of doors and dock equipments in Europe and in the Middle East. And we have factories. We have got 3 factories, and the major factory is in Netherlands. The place is called Lelystad, which is an industrial area. So there we manufacture our dock levelers and dock shelters and all those dock accessories which you would see further down in the presentation, like dock lights, traffic lights, wheel guides, bumpers, wheel chocks, etc., etc. And then our doors are manufactured in Czech Republic. We have a factory a very huge factory in Czech Republic, which manufactures almost 70% of those manufactured in Czech factory is basically for our own use, and 30% we are even manufacturing doors for other vendors or even other manufacturers from Europe actually, under their name. And we have another factory in Germany which manufactures our manual drawbridge levelers, which few of you know that sliding dock levelers are coming from German factory, including the lift tables, etc. And few of your management even have visited our factories, all these factories, and they know that actually our dock leveler factory is 100% robotized. Though very few people are there, you will see in a very huge setup, you will see one person here or there only, because the rest of the dock leveler is totally produced by robots. And coming back to our group, we have, as I told you, we have offices in Holland, UK, France, Belgium, Germany, Poland, Slovakia, Czech, Russia, Qatar, and United Arab Emirates. And we have around 100 million euro turnover with 500 employees, all offices put together. And apart from the offices, we have our own distribution network in those areas where we don't represent directly with office or factories. And we have got a very good client, international client. I mean, like you can see like Nestle, Dansas, DHL, IKEA, Tesco, DB Schenker, Aramex, and of course, you know, some of you of them are your clients in this market as well. So this is the scenario of our group actually. So the corporate office is known as ROCA, and we have these are the factories actually. The tools factory which is in Czech, they manufacture those, and we have VWNL which manufactures. This is in Netherlands, which manufactures dog population shelters. Then we have another loading system international office which manufactures the sales and the distributors all over the Europe and Middle East. Then we have got the LSO. LSO means loading system offices, and we are here. The loading system, LSO means loading system Middle East. And this is already the few highlights of our company, that we are future driven, customer oriented, and service vision. And basically the loading systems drives on three major topics, that is flexibility, continuity, and involvement. By flexibility we mean result oriented. It's a result oriented company, and we make fast decisions. And as I informed you already, that it is still running as a family-owned company. Even I can talk to the owners. Even you can talk to the owners. So it's very flexible in our company, that you know that down the line we are very clear. Anyone is anytime accessible, approachable, and we always talk with the customers. We take care of the customer requirements. Of course, the 50% of the products are standardized product, but other 50 is always coming out of discussions from the customers, project requirements, and we do it together with our clients actually. Then with continuity, we are looking for the long-term partnership, as I have been telling you, that with Amana, I think we have a very long relationship now. We have done a lot of your huge projects, and it's a family business. And involvement, your wish is our command, because we hear the problems from the clients, the contractors, the consultants. We try to incorporate maximum in our productions, and we sometimes deviate from the production standards to satisfy a client, to meet some requirements, specific requirements. And our employees, of course, you know, very few of you knew already, Mr. Marlon is always there in and around all the sites, and anytime the problems are heard, solutions are found most of the time. And it's always, I would say, and big thanks to Amana, because especially I can thanks goes to the Amana project team, always in many of the projects, very helpful, very cooperative, and we always, me, Marlon, together with Amana project team, we solve the problems before it reaches the client or other people actually. So I'm very obliged to the Amana project team with all of the projects. And as I was telling you, you know, that the accessibility, whether me, Marlon, is always a call away. We are always there. If you have any problem, we are there always. And the aim of loading systems, solve logistical challenges, reduce operational costs, because it's a European company, and we always, every month, our R&D is developing something or other to reduce the cost. Of course, some costs are beyond our control. So, but still we'll try to make our estimates or quotations, the prices always very economical to our clients. And this is just a photo of a project which we have done. So you can see our products, always, all products, most of the products here, like I'll explain you what for those who are new to that. And regarding the loading system Middle East, which is the local office, we have started our operation in 2012 with our office and warehouse in Dubai South, which is otherwise called Dubai World Center. And at the moment, we have 20 plus field staffs with factory trained technicians, engineers, and enough vehicles and parts for after sales services and emergency calls, because we are doing actually more than the projects. We are doing now a lot of annual maintenance contracts, so we are very serious on the maintenance works nowadays. And regarding the company, I've already informed you, and just I will have a quick look on the products, which you know, the dock levelers. The dock levelers is one item which bridges the gap or the distance between the warehouse floor and the truck bed, which I will show you with a video or a photo later. Then we do manufacture dock seals and shelters, which is sealing the container and the building in the cases of special docking requirements like freezer environments, chiller environments. Then this dock seals gives you protection against dust, contaminations, flies, etc. And then we have a power lock. So power lock is a new item which I think we have not introduced in this market that much actually, because the requirement was very less. I will show you the video of the power lock, the functions of power lock. Basically, the power lock is used, basically, you know that when a truck is docked on a particular dock station and this loading unloading is happening, and if the maybe it is still continuing, maybe the driver is going to pick up some items or is coming back or something like that. There are a few cases or which happen like that, that the truck driver may not be knowing that, you know, loading is or unloading is still happening, so he may take the vehicles away, you know, that. So we, in our technical language, we say premature departure of vehicles or vehicle creeping. So this power lock is a lock which pulls the or holds the truck even if the drive, it's just like a stopper, but it is a hydraulic system actually, you know, it's suddenly activate actually. The moment the driver takes the truck, it senses and it holds it back actually. Then industrial sectional overhead doors, of course you know it's insulated overhead panel doors, which you have seen or which is always there in all of your projects. Then we have dock houses. Dock houses is something which is again the same thing. It's a house which contains these doors, dock leveler and shelter. But in few projects, new projects as well as in the old projects, basically the dock houses mostly comes in the old warehouses when you are doing the refurbishment, because already you have a warehouse and you can't do anything on the existing warehouse floor. Then you make dock houses, separate houses, which contains the doors, dock level and shelter. So thereby you save the warehouse interior space as well. Then we do manufacture and supply high-speed, the rapid PVC doors, which operates or acts very fast. Opening and closing is very fast, like 1 meter. One opening is like 1 minute operation, or even you can get not 1 minute, 1 second, yeah, 1 meter per second it operates. And we have doors even which operates even in your projects like Almaya and all. We have installed doors which operates 2.8 meter per second actually. So we have a special doors which I'll come back to that. Then we have the standard rolling shutters, then fire rated rolling shutters. And in fire rated also we have different types of rolling shutters, like single skin fire rating roller shutters, insulator fire rated roller shutters, then fire curtains, and few of your projects now asking for fire curtains as well. Then accessories which I have said before, like the dog bumpers, traffic lights, the green, red and green, like road signals, then dock lights, wheel guides, etc. Anyway, I'll move a little bit quick. Then I'll just wanted to show you the video of our factory. This is our factory in Netherlands, which manufactures dock levelers and shelters. Sorry, this is the door factory in Czech Republic. So that was our door factory in Czech Republic. Is it? This is our office and factory in
Loading
Netherlands.
systems, continuity, flexibility, involvement. Loading Systems is a market leader in industrial doors and dock equipment. The company was established in 1965 by Mr. Van Wyk. The company started from his home and after periods of time located in Amsterdam, Hoofddorp,
These are the current owners
Grijzenhout,
now. They are
and
twins,
Vijfhuizen,
twin
we
brothers.
finally settled in Lelystad. It's one big family. In 2000, twin brothers Harold and Ronald stepped into their father's footsteps. 1,000 people serving our customers, and we take care motto re-exist. Besides our own production facilities, in the Netherlands and the Czech Republic, we operate from 12 international offices, which include Russia, Dubai, and Qatar. We manage the complete end-to-end process from consultancy, design, production, supervision, installation, and service. It is to supply our customers a solution for their specific situation around the world.
So just I will take you to the what is logistics basically. See, all this idea came from the where logistics, why a dock leveler is required, why a door is required, why do you need that, why do you need this. Just I will take quick this thing. As you know, it's, this logistics is there almost for last 5,000 plus years. And then we have logistics means production, packaging, inventory, transport, warehousing, security, material handling, everywhere logistics is involved. But we are talking about the material handling part of that logistics where we produce our items. And of course, there are different types of material handling. And you know these products already, which you are using in our warehouses for material handling. And there are manual loading, semi-manual loading, and assisted material handling. Manual loading is what we had in the previous years before this dock equipment, dock rollers, all this come into the market. You know, even as I told you, this loading was happening even before. So it was all by people actually. Together they do the loading like this. These are the pictures, like just to show you how people were doing loading before the invention of dock levelers and other equipments. The advantages and disadvantages, of course, is very clear on the screen. No investment in equipments, flexible where to load and unload, and the disadvantage is it's a very slow process, and cost of the truck waiting hours, because the container people charge you more time. I mean, they charge you more for the waiting hours, higher risk of damages to the people and the materials, higher risk of theft, multiple people required for doing all these things, and it's not congenial or it's not advisable for heavy goods by fully manual loading. And of course, when you look at the current situation, it was totally an inefficient way of handling materials and not suitable for chilled and frozen products, where you have to go through a lot of safety hygiene standards. Yeah. So just to show you how it was, you know, when you go for manual loading in the container, takes 4 to 6 hours, minimum 3 people required, and you can't even add more people actually, you know, they may cross each other actually. Then this is just a photo of the thing where two people are unloading frozen foods, which you know that nowadays nobody would accept this kind of loading unloading with a human touch on food, but I mean food items actually. Then because of these things, the market has developed into today's requirement of dock levelers, fully automated dock levelers, and you can see that even Amana is into a lot of warehousing projects where temperature controlled warehouses, cold rooms. So nowadays the trend of the market is, and even for Middle East also, the requirement is more coming on the temperature controlled warehouses and logistics facilities. Yeah. So, and of course for chilled and frozen foods, you need dock openings with which can manage temperature control, and trained staff, and they will not allow any contacts with outside elements. And of course the speed matters, because there will be due to the business volume, they need to move the truck very fast, and all these needs either a semi-manual material handling with the help of people and the equipments. So if you engage people and equipments, this is the scenario. You can use some equipments, and you can rest will be handled by the people. Yeah, like this. But it still occupies a lot of space. Plus, you need more people, and there are a lot of disadvantages. Like still, you need 2 to 4 hours for loading and unloading. And then comes the assisted material handling, which is the quickest way with the help of dock equipments. And I hope most of you know dock leveler, what is a dock leveler and all. Just if you want, I'll just show you. So this is a photo. I think this is from your one project. I think this is the diesel technique. I think it's from the video is from the diesel technique project. So this is one of the dock leveler. We have a telescopic lift, which even can go to 1 meter from the warehouse floor. So that is why I said this lift will cover the distance between the truck and the warehouse. So you can take your forklift inside the containers actually, and it can go up and down as well. Yeah, to adjust the gap, I mean distance, height difference between the warehouse floor and the truck, because all this is important, because you know that nowadays the trucks are all coming in different heights actually. You know, even some trucks from the Mercedes, it has a very high truck bed. Some other companies like Amana and all, they keep different height levels. So for a warehouse where you get multiple trucks in, right from 7 ton to 10 ton to 20 foot, 40 foot container trucks, and there are some high cube containers now. The truck bed is even going up to 1.7 actually. The truck bed itself is 1.7 nowadays from Mercedes, which are used for freezer containers. So there are, you need a dock leveler to adjust the height distances. So this is the advantage. Like if you have a dock leveler, you can straight away take your forklift inside the container like this. And for your information, this one we make dock levelers with even right from 2 meter length to 5 meter. We have a jumbo dock levelers which can even take a length. The platform itself is 5 meter. So because with a short length, you cannot have a high working range. So if for a 2 meter dock leveler, if it goes up, then the slope will be very, very steep. So if you need a better working range from your existing platform level, so for example, most of your warehouses, you make 1.3, 1.2 platform height. And as I told you, now the new trucks are coming at 1.7, 1.75. You need to adjust a gap of almost 450 to 500 mm difference. For that, you have to calculate with the length of the platform actually. The more the length, better will be the working range and less will be the inclination. So it is basically from the safety standard, you need to work out like that. And advantages and disadvantages, for you know, since it is all automated, it is quicker, faster, safer. And this is how a normal dry store opening nowadays looks like. We will have a sectional overhead door, the white colored one, and you will have a dock leveler, and on the side you will see the bumpers. Again, the truck is basically hitting on the bumpers. It's a rubber, so, and the truck stops there. Then you open the door, then you start the dock leveler, so the dock leveler will go and sit inside the truck bed actually. And this is what we use nowadays for the cold room warehouses, where you will be adding this dock shelter, which you can see when a container is docked. That shelter is basically, it's a manual arrangement. There is like a drive-through, you can say it as a drive-through shelter, where the shelter flaps cover the container. So the temperature, the energy is saved to some extent. It's not 100% solution, but to some extent for normal cold room ambient temperature control warehouse, it is fine. And this is actually, again, this photo is from one of your projects, I think Diesel Technique, where you can see even we have a dock solution, even the doors can go up to the ground level or even up to this level, so that even the dock leveler is behind the doors, because these are all important when energy is a concern actually. Energy saving is a concern. And the same mechanism we used in another of your project, like a Transmat, same thing. You can see the blue color dock leveler. When you open the door only, you will see the dock levelers. Otherwise, the door is, as I told you, it's an insulated sectional overhead door, so that protects the outside temperature and inside temperature in the normal situation when the door is closed. So when the truck comes, the door opens and the dock leveler is sitting behind the door, and then there is a direct contact between the truck and the building. Now the new trend is the ISO loading bay, which is, this is what I said, the doors closing the dock leveler in front. Just I'm introducing the products only, then we can go to the technical things later on the subject. So the doors, then we make doors. If you have any requirements, if any project requirements, and you know it already, that you can have a door inside the door like this. We have the main door like this. So this, like you open and close whenever it is required only. Otherwise, the people can just use this pass door, for going in and out. And this is what I have been telling about the ISO docking solution. ISO is the same thing. Actually, the door is coming in front of the dock leveler, where you can have this kind of arrangement, where you can have a door closing up to the interlock level, or you can make a subfloor, keep the dock leveler on the subfloor, and the door is closing it. So this is the arrangement actually. So this is basically civil part, which normally the contractor does this for us. Like you make the cutting for the door to pass up and down actually. And in the extreme requirements, we even do the PU insulation underneath the dock roller platform to avoid condensation on the platform. You know, when suddenly when that closed door, when it opens in this hot temperature of Dubai, suddenly the hot air pushes into the warehouse, making the platform wet actually. So we are using this PU insulation underneath the dock roller to avoid that issue. So this is called stepped docks. So this is the extended version of the ISO door. The same modus operandi we use here, with an exemption that normally you have seen that the truck is coming, docking, and before docking, the driver comes out of the truck, open the container door, and then he drives back or park it in front of the dock leveler. So nowadays, most of the distribution companies, they don't want to do like that, because we have sandstorms here, we have rain here, we have a problem with food. You know, when normally when the driver is coming for a 40-foot container, the driver is coming all the way to the rear side of the container. It takes some time. Then he opens the container door, then he is walking back to the cabin. Then by the time, if there is a sandstorm or flies can go inside, sandstorms can happen, sand can go inside for meat. You know, you have seen the container with the meat hanging, and also the flies can go inside, sands can go inside, and a lot of issues are there. The safety, hygiene issues are there. So this system, which we call as step docks, other companies, they call it in a different name. Basically, the idea is that container, the truck is straight away in this arrangement. The container, that driver doesn't have to come out and open the container door. He can straight away park the vehicle container to the dock, and the container door is in fact opening from inside the warehouse by the logistics people. So the advantage is that you can even for a night, if a truck is coming night, you can still keep the container and take the engine out, or they can open from the warehouse whenever they require. And if you open and keep it for even for the full night, that the room temperature is going into the container, making it the same temperature as they have it in the warehouse actually. So this is a new requirement. A lot of requirements are there even in the Dubai market now for this step docks, and we have done already so many projects with Amana in the same arrangement. And this is another thing which I have been referring to you before. Like now the other one challenging situation we, the manufacturers, face is that before we had a special dock leveler for small trucks. Then we have a special huge jumbo dock leveler for the big trucks. So now we have come out with a single solution. It's like a single dock leveler which can cater even from a small high-ash type of van to a high cube container, where you can see you have the lip, segmented lip here. Then you get it in 2-3 capacities, like from 2 ton to 6 ton. So when you have a small van or something like that, only the middle part of the lip will go inside. You know that in the container is the international size of a container is basically 2.4 meter. That is the international size, I guess, the width of the container. So that is why we always make the dock leveler 2 meter or maximum 2.25 meter, keeping some clearance on the left and right sides. And when you have a small high-ash type of van or something like that, it is like a 3 ton, 4 ton pickup is like 1.8, 1.7 like that only. That is why we keep segmentation on the lip. So even when the small pickup is coming, only the center part will go inside, So normally if it is a 2 meter, we keep the center part maybe 1.5 meter, half meter on right, half meter on left. So that 1.5 meter will go into the container. And when you are loading on a small truck, automatically the capacity of the dock level will be reduced to 2 ton. And if someone is taking more than 2 ton, it makes it alarm and sound, so that you know that you are taking excess weight into the dock leveler. And in the normal cases, when there is a container, you can take up to 6 ton, and the full lip will go inside. So this is called a combi dock, where you cater, and it has a big high working range also because of the construction, special construction we used here. You can see that folding and all. So it can, unlike a normal dock leveler, it can go up and it can go down more than a normal dock leveler. This is just like a 3D view of the step dock system, which I have been telling you, that how a door or a container door is opening from inside the warehouse. Normally you see drivers are opening the door. Here the warehouse guy is opening the container door. So you can see the lip going up, going forward, and close the gap. Then this is why we call a step system, because we are making a civil step there. So you can open the container door inside the warehouse. So now it is like a warehouse only. It's a part of your container is becoming part of a warehouse now, because it will have the same temperature. You can straight away take your forklift inside, pull the material out. Yeah, that is how it works. So this is the dock house which I have been referring. See, as you see, the dock house is coming out of the building actually. So, and inside the dock house, we are fixing the dock leveler and the shelter. But there will be door on the main building. The door is inside. So then you make this extension dock house with a subfloor for the dock leveler to sit in and the shelter. So thereby you can save the inner space. You are not, whatever you have the space inside the warehouse, you can fully utilize that. And this is good for an existing warehouse also, where if there is an old warehouse where a customer is coming up and asking, no, I want to upgrade my warehouse, and I want to upgrade my warehouse to a container loading and unloading situation, then this is the best solution. So we can have a dock house. Even dock house also, you can make it like you can make the civil work also, and otherwise we do supply this complete steel structure, and we do the installation part as well. Yeah, and it is all around cladded with the insulator panels if it is a temperature controlled. So this is some photos where we have done these dock houses here. So this is what you see. The door is inside, and then you have the extended platform with the dock leveler sitting there. Yeah. And this is the high-speed door actually, the PVC doors. Normally the application of these doors are coming internally, where you have partition doors between the warehouses and where you have high traffic between warehouses. And basically, especially the warehouses, like, most of the warehouses you see some part dry area, some part cold area. So when there is traffic between the dry and the cold area is happening more frequent, then you need a door like this which acts very fast, which opens and closes very fast. And it is all totally, fully automated doors. So the moment you can have operation systems in different ways, like you can have a radar there, you can have a pull cord there where the driver of the forklift pull the cord, where you can have a push button with the driver, remote with the driver. So you can have operations apparently like modus operandi is so many options are there basically. And this is the same PVC door which we use with crossbars in huge openings like 7 meter, 8 meter width or a 4 to 5 meter height. We use the same door which is also again a high speed door, and this can be even used for external application because for wind resistance and all, and because of the size and for the external application we use that wind bars, crossbars. And the other door which I have shown you, this is the rolling type, and this one is like a stacking type. It's fold, stacks and goes up actually. Because of the wind bars, it cannot roll. If it rolls in the terrain where it's more, because the bars rub each other, so it goes like this, folding. We call it as folding high-speed doors. This one is it can be insulated, but there is a limitation, like a maximum 4 mm thickness only you get that. Yeah, externally you can use that, yes. But as I told you, maybe not good for Dubai weather. When you have 45 to 50 degree, it won't be that good actually, because at the end of the day, it's a PVC material. But of course, when you have a dock house or something like that, or we have installed these doors outside, but in that cases, they have a canopy. Open canopy for the container to load actually. Apart from the building, you have the canopy, where under the canopy, you have the trucks parking. So in that case, it is not directly exposed to the sunlight, because these doors, you can't keep it direct exposed to sunlight because of the PVC nature of the material used in that, yeah. And then we have this kind of door. This is a manual door, spring door. We have installed so many of them in your project again in Nestle and all. It's a manual PVC. We call it a high impact door. The bottom part, what you see, is all 10 mm rubber actually. So you can even hit with the forklift also. Still it opens. It's a manual sink door basically. And the top part you can keep it for vision. It's a clear PVC, same thickness, and the bottom part is 8 to 10 mm rubber. So this is mostly used in food processing industries, in the partition doors, where you want to save money, because the other one which I have been saying is all electrical door, which is high in prices and maintenance, of course. And this one is a cheaper solution to the above door, but as you know, it has some size limitation, like 3 by 3 or even 4 by 4 is fine. So it's a manual door. The same thing. This door is made of polyethylene. It's an insulated panel door, basically like our sectional overhead door. It's a polyethylene insulated panel. But the same mechanism is same. It's aluminum panels, which you can see normally use it for the meat industries. And just I will take you to show how a high-speed door is working. This is one of the variant of our high-speed doors, which is called SIP doors with a self-repairing. See, if by mistake a forklift is hitting on that, you know that's a PVC. Anything can cut the PVC. So rather it goes out of the channel, and the material is saved out of damage. So then on the second run, it goes automatically into the channel. I think you have seen that, right? Just I wanted to show you that. See, this is the normal operation, and he is pushing it as if a forklift is hitting on the door, so it goes out. So instead of getting rigid, and when it goes up, it automatically gets into the track, and the next operation it again works as a normal standard PVC door, and if you with small push it won't go out actually. This is our freezer doors, which has a 30 panel actually, and it can even work up to minus 30 degree. So now these doors are replacing our conventional sliding freezer doors, and this is automated, so it works even, it can even work up to 2.8 meter per second, and this is replacing the conventional sliding doors which you have seen in cold rooms, freezer rooms and all. This is basically, it's a freezer door, and it can you can install the same even up to minus 30. Yeah, if it is in the if the machine the part and the control box is on the freezer side, the cold room side, then you have to have it with the heating element. There are some many cases, like if it is like +5 and all, you don't need that. But still, it is always better to have an heating element, because in the nights and all, if there is something like that, some cases, if there is a power drip and then again power is coming back, then the ice can go down, and later when the power is back, the ice can hold it back to the floor, and when you operate it, it cracks actually. So it's always better to have an heating element on these doors. All over, or even include inside the channels as well. Inside the channel, but the floor one, I think we always tell the contractor to do that. Correct? Yeah. That thing is from the contractor side because of the cutting and your mechanism. But for the door, like all three sides, channels, motor, inside the hood, control box, everywhere you will have the heating element. Yeah, but even the floor also we can do that, but since it needs civil cutting and plastering, see, when we do the plastering, it won't be in the same grade of what you are doing. So normally we give that scope always. We give the drawings and all. We always be there actually. Our supervision will be there, but we ask the contractor to do that.
My question, is it required to be in the floor also, or three sides enough?
If it is always preferable to have it on the floor when the the temperature is like a -25, -30, like that. And otherwise, you will have, if you have minus on both sides, like -10 on one side, -30 on the other side, you won't be recurring on the floor actually, because both sides are minus. When you have a plus on one side and minus on the other side, I think the importance of this floor heating is you need it to avoid problems actually. So we have actually the speed doors, which is steel, made out of steel as well, but it will be looking the other way actually. It doesn't have that much speed. I think Harish knows all this. This is the steel insulated steel door, which can operate around 500 per second, because the other one works from 1 meter per second to 2.8 meter per second. This can work up to 500 per second. Yeah. When safety is a matter, when it is an external door, you cannot have that. As I told you, you cannot have a PVC speed door outside. Answer to Mr. Rai also. This is this for if it is totally external, then you can go for the steel insulated high speed door, but only 0.5 meter per second because of the material. It says interlocked slats, so you can't have too much speed on that. Yeah. This thickness is like 25 the slat thickness. 20 to 25, right? I mean, in the middle part is 25, but it's because of the design actually, because the joints are like interlocks. Then coming back, these were our products actually. So now coming back to our service part, we have introduced this advanced control system where you can control all the doors, like the BMS. It can interface with your BMS system. And apart from that, we have the you will have this control. The client logistics manager, operation manager will have control on all our doors and equipments by sitting in the room, like in front of his looking at the computer laptop screen. He can see what is happening on the door, maybe some doors by mistake due to power trip or something like that. If the door is open, even in the night, you can see from your system that, okay, if you have 10 doors, door number 2 open by something or other reasons. So you can see it from your system. And also for maintenance, this is good. Basically, this software gives you the indication when you need to change the rollers, when you need to change the springs, because every accessory have a product life cycle. Even the panels, even the springs, the rollers, the cables, everything will have a life cycle actually. So this software in the system will tell you when to change, when to call for the service, even maybe it's a due, or then you can immediately inform the service provider. Like in our case, you can call our office and say, okay, this door, the spring is, we are using this door for, maybe it's not necessary that you use all the doors in the same pattern. Maybe 1 or 2 doors may work more time compared to other doors. So the system will tell you, okay, this door needs spring replacement. Then you can contact the manufacturer supplier.
You can count the number of times.
Yeah, there is a cycle. Yeah, it gives you the complete the chart. The printout will tell you everything actually. Yes. Even like this, if there is some due to some alignment problem, spring tension sometimes get loose, so the door may stuck in between. So this system will give you alarm that, okay, this particular door is open. See, by sitting in the control room, he may not be knowing that. If you say, for example, your IKEA project and all, how you will see 134 doors and dock leveler. By sitting in the control room, he may not be able to see, okay, door number 3 is open in the night. So this gives you indication alarm saying that this door number 3 is open. So you can immediately call us, or they can go and close it manually or something like that. But for our AMC customers, we even do the night service, emergency service. At least if you don't repair it, at least the same night, at least if there is a situation like this, it happened in many cases, because our people are always in the state. They are all put up in the Jebel industrial area. So you know that all the happenings are all in these areas: DIC, DIP, JAPSA, other areas, Technopark. So even there were instances like we have done emergency services during night. Of course, it may not be a repairing service. At least we go there and close the door. If it is the door is open, we just go close it. Next day we do the repairing like that. And this is the picture which you see is the completely automated loading and unloading systems. We have software for that as well. But I tried in few projects here. It did not click out because the cost involved is so high. But in Europe, they have done actually for a Tesco company like IKEA, Tesco, they have done this automatic truck loading system as well. This advanced control system, you can see the video which explains you more on that. This is basically a loading system software. Even you can open and close by sitting in the control room. You can open the door and close the door. not that expensive actually. Actually, we may introduce this one in one of the projects in DWC now. So it requires some small investment only. Then, of course, the looping part is there, connectivity part, yeah, the cabling and all these things. So that, but the parts used are very not that much actually. It's a small software. You need a laptop and software you have to buy from us. And then basically the major part is the looping part, right? Networking. So now this one is something really good, which we have just introduced 6 months back. The same thing which what I have been saying, now you can do everything through the app. Even from the mobile you can close and open the door. So the number which is displayed is the error number. So when you see that number, we know what to do, or we will normally we educate our clients also what that number represents. So you can attend the problems. Marketing that video is a bit older actually, but it is already through. So do you have any questions on so far, any doubts by the time it gets back into the action? Yeah. Yeah, we have the timer with all our, it's standard actually for all our sectional overhead doors. No, that could be some cabling issues actually, but we normally our control board is equipped with automatic closing, like the opening is always with some activation, push button or remote, whatever it is. Then you have the timer adjustment for closing. You don't have to even wait for the opening is dead man operation. Means you need to press the button or remote or whatever it is.
Yeah, actually,
Cold storage is
yeah,
of course, yeah.
We do that automatic opening, like every 1 hour, it will open once and close. Because to avoid that
Freezing part, yeah, that we can do. So that is there actually. If it is extreme climate, then we do that actually. Like every half an hour, even in the night time, the door open and closes, just to avoid the freezing at the bottom actually. Normally the water drips and later that it can turn into ice actually. Then it, as I was telling before, yeah, it hold back the curtain and the curtain may damage actually. So to avoid that actually, to have, in addition to the heating element on the floor, we do this automatic opening and closing throughout the night with half an hour. Normally we set half an hour for that. It just open and close, that's it, yeah. So for the technical team, how to choose the right kind of dock leveler, which I think already I explained, just add a word on this. Like normally our standard dock leveler width is 2 meter, which and 2250 is also our standard actually, but more than that it is not possible actually. The international container size is 2.4, so you cannot have a dock leveler with more than 2250 width. Then what you see, the lip is called, we call chamfered or tapered lip. This is again, we use it when you have small trucks and big trucks, because the 2 meter may not go into the small trucks. So we taper the lip on the edges so that it can go to the small trucks as well, yeah. The same thing, another way of doing it is segmentation of lip. So this one, actually loading system, even especially we always recommend this one, because the less mechanism is always better life. This one just a single lip taper, so it serves the purpose. Same thing we do with this arrangement also, where I seen the lip is cut into 3 pieces. So the center part will go away if it is a small vehicle. At the end of the day, you will have 3 loose parts which can eventually make problems. And as I told you, like so many additional mechanism, more the trouble, yeah. So we just always try to reduce the mechanism. And this is what just a working range to show you. Then depends on the equipments used inside the warehouse. We determine the angle of the lip and the platform. So for example, if you have a forklift, normally that it should have an angle of 10 degree, which is always there. Like our standard dock leveler comes with a 10 degree angle calculation for basically used for the manual and forklifts. And the weight, total weight, we have a 6-ton capacity dock leveler, then we have a 10-ton capacity dock leveler as standard, and we do make even 15-ton, 20-ton dock leveler based on the requirements. That's what I said, like if there is a requirement for a paper roll factory and all, you need a jumbo dock leveler with more capacity. So we make that actually. And these are some of the pits, where you see, and you make also, like even the precast you have started making it, the pit, for your most of the projects nowadays. So this is the one we normally go here. It is called a subfloor pit with a subfloor, where you see the dock leveler sitting on the subfloor. And the first one is an open pit, and still you can fix the dock leveler. The advantage and disadvantage between these two is, in the first open floor, that the waste, dirt, everything will go to the interlock level, and it's easy for maintenance, because of, say for example, it's like your platform is 1.3 meter, and someone can go and even do the maintenance underneath, because all the mechanisms of this dock leveler is under the platform. So when you have an open pit, it is easy for us to go under the dock leveler and do the maintenance. Plus from the hygiene part, although say for example if you have a dock leveler with handling juices, this and that, you know, if the during the handling, if bottle is broken or something like that, this the juice will, and all these sticky substance will go into the interlock level. Here in this case it will go and rest on the subfloor, which you need cleaning, but strength wise this is always better. This the pit with the subfloor is always a recommended one. And we do give this box also, like a part along with the dock leveler, based on the requirements. But normal cases we just give the dock leveler and you the contractor make the pit. And we sometimes if there is a requirement we give the dock leveler in a box, so you can just buy everything and just you know, you can save your time, just buy the dock leveler with the fixing box. So you just place the box and concrete it. So this is the typical dock design goes like this, but depends on the project and all. As I was telling that we are involved in the designing part also, based on your drawings there, your requirements, your area constraints, project constraints. Sometimes you have a warehouse with less space or less distance to the gate or something like that. We have so many solutions, like we have zigzag dock designs, we have like 90 degree, 180 degree dock designs. So this is the typical dimensions we are using for a proper dock arrangements, where you can see a normal truck with a 40-foot container is 16.5 meter. Then you need another 18 meter for truck maneuvering. So if you have a limited space, then you need to rearrange the dock designs. This is how it goes, and you can see that just for a technical drawing information, this is the standard distance we keep, 4 meter from center to center of an opening. So this will be ideal for any truck with a container. This is good enough. If you keep 4 meter from center to center of the opening, that is good. And of course, you would have seen, I think, from your side also, many people, you know, that you would have seen a truck with a tailgate like this. So in there is a tailgate. Normally, it is difficult to keep the truck closer to the loading bay. So in that case, we make a pit with a tailgate opening. It is simple. That black part, that box is the gap only. You can see in the first photo. The tailgate goes underneath the subfloor. That is why I have been saying you that, you know, that you can make the pit with the subfloor. In that case, the tailgate of the truck goes under the subfloor. If there is a tailgate truck, the truck with the tailgate is there, then you can't take the truck closer to the dock actually. So this is just a recap of what we have been saying. This is our industrial doors. You can have these doors installed full vertical. You can have it 1 meter, or if this is the height, and if you have a 3 meter door height, you can take training from here. Then if you have enough space, you can take the door direct, vertical track we call it. And if there is a slope roof, we can even make the track following the roof. If you have 5 degree slope, 10 degree, 15 degree roof, we can make the door track following your roof actually, you know, to save your area. Because if you have a slope roof, and if you make the track also, you will get that much space actually. Because normal case what happens is that if you have a slope roof, like a warehouse, typical warehouse is like this, and if you make the roof track also, so we can give you door which goes like this actually. So what you normally you see is door either going direct, or if there is no enough space, then it has to turn like this. So thereby you are limiting your utility space here if you have. So in this case, you can use this much area. So different kinds of tracks are available for our doors, and dock levelers, as I told you, we have two types of dock leveler. One is with the hinged lip and the other one is with the sliding lip. We call it as telescopic lip. The hinged lip is like this. The lip goes up and down, and the telescopic one, it goes forward and backward. And this is the combination ramp which you use it, or you can propose to your clients if there is a project where you have especially distribution centers where you have small trucks to high cube container. We can, but it is expensive actually. You can address this issue the other way also. There are other ways to compromise on the price as well with a standard dock leveler. You need to make some adjustment on the loading platform height. In that case, you can go with the standard dock leveler actually. So this is the door with the ISO arrangement, where you see the door in front and dock leveler behind. This is a stepped dock leveler where the container door is opening inside the warehouse, thereby saving the energy and keep the container inside more hygiene and same temperature as it is in the warehouse area. Then you have the dock shelter. This is the manual shelters we call it. It's like a drive-through shelters. Then our shelters are always made for the impact actually. Like if the container while taking the reverse, if it is hitting on the dock shelter, because the dock shelter, the standard shelter is that it's like a 600 mm projection is there from the building wall. But you can see in the second photo where the container is hitting the dock shelter frame. So it goes back actually. It's a flexible frame. So again, it goes so close to the building wall, then we can't do anything. Even the building, your cladding panel will get damaged. So at least.
You are not providing shelter with the airbags?
Yeah, we have that. I'm coming to that picture. Yeah, this is. Yeah, it has that drainage system also in case of rain. Then I'll come to that, sir. Next photo is that, yeah. Then we have a shelter where I said you can see a big truck on the other side and a small one is here. So it's challenging again for the manufacturers to give you a single solution for all these things like dock leveler. So this is the system which we are doing it, and we have done in many of your projects as well, where the center part is a roller blind actually. So that roller blind height you can reach even 2.5 meters actually. If you have a big truck and a small truck serving in the same pattern of dock equipments, so just you can park the truck. If it is big truck, normally it automatically covers with the top part. If it is a small truck, you need to run the roller blind. So the roller blind can, from the fixing position, it can come to 2.5 meters down. So that is what you see in the second photo. So that this roller blind is again, electrical version is available and the manual version is available. There is a difference of around 2,500 to 3,000 dirhams difference between an electrical and a manual one. So electrical is always good because you already have a dock control box for dock leveler and doors. And I forgot to tell you about our dock control box actually. We have a special loading system is always making a special control box which is called a combi control box. One control box take care of the complete entire equipments, including the dock accessories like dock lights, traffic lights, everything managed by a single control box, and all safety is integrated. So when you have a combi control, the advantage is that you cannot straight away go and operate a dock leveler before opening the door. So you have to follow the sequence actually. So thereby saving the mechanisms actually. It gives a product life. So you open the door first, then you start the dock leveler like that. If you have a shelter, the shelter will cover the container first so that it protects the container, then you start the sequence actually. Yeah, this is the one we have that inflated, we call it as inflatable dock shelters. This is mostly used in freezer docks, cold stores, yeah. So this gives almost, still not 100%, I would not say. you can't have that 100% because at least it is 80 to 85% protection is there with the inflatable cushions actually. And it is sensitive, it's like a balloon shelter. The maintenance is more on this. But you need it. If it is a cold room, you need it. You don't have a choice.
Most of the air conditioning,
Yes.
there's a big problem for infiltration.
Yeah.
Also here, a lot of gap from.
Yeah, I can show you that. Actually, we are doing that. I think in my product now we have come up to the gap which I know which gap, that the corner sides from the side. We have a system that is like another accessory actually. We have a system which cover that gap also. In normal Nike and all, we have used the cushions actually. It is the manual thing actually. It's like a simple version of that. We have other arrangement also. It's like we have a cylinder cushion. So whatever is the gap, that it's like a round thing. That normal standard cushion is a rectangle cushion. Still the gap will be there. So if it is round, whatever, if you press here, that this part will bulge out. So it goes and cover that area actually. If the truck edge is coming here, automatically when the pressure is here, this bulges to the spaces actually. So it covers.
Affecting the design of the HVAC especially.
Yeah, you need that, yes. But now we have come up with other solution also. Now whatever you see here, this shelter, you see this is like a straight line now. Now with the shelter, we have come up, this inflatable cushion is coming like this also. Instead of the separate cushion, we are covering this area with the shelter itself. The design is like this. Now this is actually, we still have both the designs actually. This is a standard design. For extreme situation, we have the same inflated shelter which is like an angle like this. So it goes underneath the truck and cover it. So when this inflates, that the bottom part also gets inflated. That is become part. That is basically part of the unit itself. Where in normal area, in normal situation, that cushion is an additional accessory. Where you need protection underneath, then you can order with us shelters with bottom inflated cushions. Then dock seals also. This is just like the very simple, cost-effective shelter where the container is going and pressing on the cushion. This is also good actually from the control. If you have a uniform truck, this works much better than any other system. Different types you have that inflation because that can go inflate up to the container. Whatever is the container width, height, it act according to that. Yeah. Yes, yeah. No, when you have, if you have your own fleet of trucks, then if it is standard, then we can make the cushion according to that, like 300, 400 or 500 mm width, so that little plus and minus here and plus and minus here on top. So if you have your own fleet of trucks, then you can have this method, which is actually very cheap and less maintenance. Then we were saying about door with pass door. And all our doors are coming with full safety, like finger trap protection. You can see, we call it. Then we have a bottom safety edges. Like if someone is touching the bottom, the door goes back. Then we have a cable brake system. If the cable, normally in this section of our door work on a spring and cable. So if there is a breakage on the spring or cable, normal cases, if the door is in open position, there are all chances to for the door to come close, at high speed, which is dangerous to the people or someone standing near to the door. Even, of course, the panels also get damaged, because of the high impact. So we give all our doors with the standard safety brake system, cable brake system. It's like basically, it's like a cutting system. And the door will come down, but while coming down, it makes a cut on the track actually. So there is a steel blade system is there. So it makes cut on the track and it stops there. It will not come down here. So you need to change that much part of the channel only later, because there already will be a cut on the channel. So at least your full door and mechanism will be saved. You don't have to invest again on the door and panels. So only the track need to change.
When you operate the door remotely, you said by Bluetooth or network or my Ethernet, it's bypassing all the sequence because you have sequence. The truck will come, there is a radar, then, so if you make it remotely, that you will bypass all those.
No, it will still go through the sequence only, because sequence is basically this remote is basically interfaced with the control board only. The control board works as per the sequence only. You if you have a door and dock leveler, you need to open the door first. If the door is not fully open, however, whatever you put pressure on the dock leveler control button,
Same sequence, it will not bypass this.
no, it will not bypass. Same sequence only. Only thing, remotely you are doing it by sitting in a room. If someone is telling, sir, we have a container in dock number 20, and
There is no container, and you cannot open the door.
you can still, with the application, you can still open. If there is some service cleaning part, if someone is telling, sir, can you open the door?
You are bypassing part of the sequence in this case.
Only that remote function, that control board function only we are bypass. It's not bypassing actually. The same sequence only, but you are doing it remotely only. You are sitting in some other place and doing the same thing through the system, through the mobile or through the app actually, computer app. It's the same sequence only. You can open and close the door.
How the same, and now the truck is coming, it's sensing there's a truck, it will hit the shelter, then open, the next will open. If you make bypass, that means there's no truck, nothing, so anybody can open the door at any time. Yes? Remotely, it should not bypass the sequence.
I didn't get the question. Sorry.
No, actually, if it is set to program, it depends on the program actually. If you set to program like by sequence, you have to operate everything. You have to operate the shelter, then you can open the door. But there is some clients who don't want this kind of sequence because sometimes they don't know if there is a truck. If you go outside, they just want to open the door. If you are doing the sequence and the client just wants to open the door, you have to do all the sequence. But if they ask us to bypass this one, we can do the bypass by programming. If they want this sequence, they have to follow the sequence actually. They cannot just simply bypass it.
It's risky to operate the door from remote. It's risky. You have
This opening and closing remotely is always by command actually. From someone commanding you. Say for example, person standing outside or the driver asking you to open and close. That basically it is just for an emergency case only. And this application is more on opening and closing. This application which we have shown you is basically from the maintenance part. By sitting in the control room, you know this door is, without someone's command, this door is open or closed.
Monitor is okay, but control is something not,
Yeah.
not recommended, from my opinion.
So this is the control board. This is what I have been saying, that a combi control box, single box, which operates all actually, door, dock leveler, shelters, and all accessories. Then we have the panel, door panels. 40 mm panels are there, 80 mm panels are there. We use 80 mm panels for the cold rooms actually, because it has a better temperature efficiency.
What's the U value of this?
For the 40 mm, it is 0.50. Then for
15?
in
50.
50, yeah. The other one is 0.29, 80 mm panels. Because that is the maximum we give actually, because since it is a sliding folding door, 80 mm panel is the maximum thickness you get in sectional overhead doors.
Can it be made in non-standard sizes, 50 or 60?
No, we don't have that panels actually, because then we don't have the accessories for that. It's not available in the market as well, because the tracks and all is maximum 80 mm. I think Lotus is the only company, I think even manufacture 80 mm. My competitors, they have only 67 mm or something like that, because we are the only people who at least gives 80 mm. And about the designs, actually we have 2-3 designs on the panels, like a stucco, plain, and window also you get this is another design. Then window you get different sizes, oval, rectangle, smaller windows. If there is a cold room, we give small windows. And then you have full width windows also, like that. basically which is normally used for showrooms and all. Even you can have a full panel with windows. Only the bottom will be the normal panel, and the rest will be, you can have the full window panels.
Can you have any windows that are vertical?
Vertical, no. Because our panel, maximum width of a panel is only 60 mm. Yeah,
I remember one of the designs, if you remember Zonescope, right? It was a vertical panel there.
It can be made now vertical if you put 3 of 600 mm or 4 600 mm.
Again, actually this window size itself is 663. No, the panel width is only 600 and the window is 663 mm. Because it has to fold also in case if it is a vertical, but still it's difficult. You need to fix the frame as well.
Yeah, so it will be part that's fixed actually. The other part will be door.
Yeah. Rather, if they are concerned with the window, then
If the door is fully vertical, it
yeah,
can happen.
it
It's possible.
it
But
is
if the
possible.
door is bending, there will be a gap between the panels. So you cannot make one single window in there. There has to be a frame between the panels.
No, I mean the whole width, the height of the door should be one strip of windows that are vertical rather than horizontal. Over here you have one proposal that's one full panel horizontally
Mhm.
as a door, as a window. If part of the door is vertically a strip of window, will it work?
Since these panels are moving, I think it's difficult. If it otherwise, you have to block the moving actually. If it is a full vertical lift door, you can
But you will still
block the panels.
You will not see one single clear window. There will be like
It segmentations, yeah. Yeah, this is the thing. Maximum this only we can do with the full windows, yeah. This is basically used for the showrooms, yeah. And these are all aluminum frames. You can give the colors and all. Mechanism is same, but only these frames are different. Then we have just introducing this fire-rated insulated sectional over doors. It's still not in the market. Like our fire-rated rolling shutters, we are just coming up with fire-rated insulated sectional over doors. Then we have fire-rated roller screens.
Is it introduced or you will introduce it?
It is going to be introduced, yeah.
What's the
It's still not there actually because so much of approvals are still waiting actually.
What is the rating? 60 minutes?
60, maximum 60 only.
Maximum
60 minutes, yeah.
What's there is not approved yet?
No, not at approved yet. But anyway, normally any of the products, we don't have this local approval, any of our products, because we, or people like us, we are all from Europe, the manufacturing is from outside. So we have international certificates only, which is valid. In Dubai, at least it is all valid for the fire department. DCD always approves by a circular, they have given approval for all the international certification, which I have the copy actually. So even we are certified. But when it comes to Abu Dhabi or Sharjah, it's difficult for me. Because for local companies who makes doors here, it is easy for them because you need to go through a lot of formalities for getting it approved through the local fire bodies. You need to make the door, install it, call them. You have to practically put fire on the door, and they will watch. They will certify only after that. So this same exercise we are doing on a company level outside in Europe, but for a local office like us, we are not going for that because a fire-rated shutter. Okay, only few projects where you see fire shutters more actually. Because most of the projects, okay, if you have 20 sectional over doors, you will have 1 or 2 fire shutters. So it's not worth for a local office like my office. It's not really worth to go after that because actually it's you need to invest a lot of money on that. It's good for a company who is only into the fire shutter business because their bread and butter is only fire shutter. So those companies like if this swing door, pass doors, the panic doors. They make only those doors. So for them, it is mandatory. They have no other option actually. They have to go through this process, invest money, and get the approval locally. Otherwise, they cannot sell. So if there is a requirement like that, as you all know, that we have a tie-up with a UK company. They make the fire shutters for us, and we give the international certificate, which is valid at least in Dubai Civil Defense. But Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, I have no guarantee.
Regarding the overhead sectional doors, what's the main difference between the aluminum and the steel? You have two types of sectional.
Now, for industrial application, we make only steel. Our company makes only steel. Actually, aluminum we give against specific project requirement only. And when it comes, normally it is supposed to be cheaper. But for my company, unfortunately, when you say aluminum, it is coming expensive because our panel which have been bought and kept in the yard is all steel actually. If there is a aluminum door requirement for 10 doors, then our procurement have to procure those panels, aluminum panel only for those 10 doors with some buffer stock for the repair and or something like that. But when it is steel, they have it already there, and which they would have bought months back.
Technically different.
Technically, there is, of course, there is different because industrial application, no one would go for aluminum, and the guarantee which we give for steel and aluminum is one and same. The panel wise, because both panels are not in, actually the panel as such, whether it is steel or aluminum, it has nothing to do, or it is not in direct contact with water or something like that. See, the basic, the thing is that whether if it is an aluminum sectional overhead door also, rest everything is steel. They are using steel springs, they are using steel channels, they are using steel rollers, they are still using the bottom EPDM rubber seals with the aluminum profile. And for our doors, we use the panel, the steel panel, then everything is same. We use the same aluminum bottom profile with EPDM rubber seal, and all our channels, springs, cables, drums, everything is galvanized actually. But we have the option for freezer cold rooms that all these moving accessories we can have a stainless steel. Like we have stainless steel tracks, we have stainless steel rollers, hinges, like that. But again, cable, you don't have an option here. It has to be normal aircraft cable. And the drums is cast iron, you know? Drums are cast iron. So these are all standard for any company, not only my company, any company, these are standard. But one or two competitors, why this specification comes is that because one of my favorite competitor, they are into the residential market also. For residential garage doors, you always people go for aluminum doors because it is light duty for the cars and all. It gives a better finish actually because the residential garage door comes part of the villa actually. So aluminum surface will have a better finish when you apply some painting or paint or something. You get in different designs, different colors, and it is lightweight. And for industrial application, when you next time probably I can bring you an aluminum panel and a steel panel, you can visibly see the difference because when you punch an aluminum panel, it immediately makes dent there actually. But steel because in a warehouse you cannot use because even a small hit, even with a wooden pallet, it goes inside. You know that once it is an insulator panel, once there is a dent, you can't do anything actually with the insulator panel. If you hammer here, it makes more dent only because if it is a single sheet, okay, you can keep something here and hammer it and make it straight. But for an insulator panel, you can't do anything. Once there is a dent, the dent is there always, yeah.
So what's the available fire rating? How many minutes maximum?
Fire rated rolling shutter, we have up to 4 hours. Yeah, it's a typical fire rated coiling doors actually. From 30 minutes to 4 hours, we have approval.
This certificate here from Civil Defense?
No, that is what I said. I have the international certificate, but Dubai Civil Defense approves our international certificates through a letter. But not for Abu Dhabi.
ATEX also you have? ATEX?
Yes, we have ATEX as well, yes. ATEX, fully 100% ATEX. Then, but it's, you know, the prices and all is very high.
What certificate?
Same thing, international certificates. Oh, okay. Yeah. कोई किया है इसे? हाँ बहुत पहले। वो कौन था? इधर का लोकल आदमी किया था और यूरोप में किया था? हैं? इधर का? No, no. You'll come back in 15 minutes? Yes. Okay.
Okay, great. I'll meet with you along with our estimation manager. Okay, I sent him your profile.
afternoon,
How
sir.
are you? How are you, Mujir? Big manager.
I was accepting some question from my dear friend, but he didn't ask me any question.
How are you?
Last all question.
About to ask you one question, but I thought that I will call you later for that. Marlon bhai.
Hi, sir.
say.
Mama told me, so when you say something, be very careful. Otherwise, Najar will ask, you said 20 people, where are the 20 people?
For cold store area, crushable doors, fire rate.
Can we provide
Crushable by forklift. Means the forklift will come, will not.
that I have shown you that is PVC. Concrete means casting means it has to be a flexible material.
Yes. But I think at the same
But
time.
it's a manual, no? At the fire rating,
No, they need it fire. They need it at the same time, it has to be fire rated because it's located in fire rated.
I mean, that the bolts are all fire rated. That is
What
all specialty.
all can be provided in this way?
That I have shown you that the manual swing door, impact door,
But that's not fire rated.
not fire rated.
I need
It's like a normal panel.
fire rated.
This mechanism is like a swinging.
Fire rated door which has to work in this atmosphere. Cold store area where the temperature is 10, 7, 10 like that.
That one locally only we can make it. You have to contact some fire rated means local panic store manufacturers. They have to make that swing door normal fire rated door. Then
Things they are not accepting steel.
still not accessing. Fire rating means it's not like you want the fire rating. That you check the specification. It may be saying fire resistant.
Even he was
Even our PVC are fire retardant. They are rating asking. They are rating with minutes rating. No. Even PVC that are
just standard. It's just standard. Standard. But in that wall it's showing like 1 hour.
wall itself is a fire rated.
That blue color
No, I don't know the product. But my PVC doors are fire retardant. Like the material, does not make any smoke or problems. So it is called retardant.
Marlon, where is original warranty?
Which one?
Original warranty 253.
Didn't receive.
Send me one list. According to DOC.
You will do what? Division.
No division. Aerospace. You gave it? Original.
That's the problem.
Really? That's your payment?
No, that is that you have to give.
I will give. You send down voice final report? Then that's really done.
I think 80 plus 85%. Last 5%. I think so. Then I'll check. Maybe 90% also. I don't know.
Let me
You
know.
release some payment in between.
Let me know.
Last time we were talking and you will
Because
asking me, he gave me a budget, but I came almost closer to that, but still it's very close. Go ahead, because I can't do it. Yeah, now I'm running another one. Let's start. Hello. So let's restart. So we were talking about fire rated roller shutters. Then we have a fire rated sliding doors. You can see the photo here. Even we do this one even in IKEA. We have done this one, fire rated sliding doors. Then high speed doors, high speed folding doors. This all we have seen already. So coming back to the dock accessories, we have this dock bumpers, but I have given only one picture of the dock bumper. This dock bumper is available with us almost around 25 models of bumpers we have in different kinds, steel, starting from rubber to polyelastomer, then steel, galvanized, then vertical strips, moving bumpers, shock bumpers with the shock absorbing. So many bumpers. We have almost 22 models of bumpers actually. Then this is the traffic light, red and green, which we use in fully automated docks. This is an indication for the driver to dock when it is green. And when the truck is docked, automatically the red light will blink on so that people know that docking is happening there. So the reverse will happen when the loading or unloading is finished. So once the truck moves away, again the light will be back to green, so that it is an indication for the next driver to come and park there because the dock is free there. The reverse light will be showing inside actually. Inside the warehouse also we give the dock light. Sometimes the same unit, sometimes a small red and green indication lamp on the control board itself. And then this is the dock light, because normally when you have a container which is covered with a shelter, it is all dark there actually, because there is no contact with the outside weather or environment. So that area around the container will be dark. So we give, especially when you are using that inflatable shelter and all, there is no gap anywhere, so it is totally dark. So you need this dock light with an arm so that you can adjust the lighting here and there. Then this is we call wheel guides. These wheel guides you would have seen, which is placed, it's like a pair which is coming on in front of the dock. So if there is a wheel guide, then the truck drivers will park the container or truck properly, because this is called a wheel alignment. Basically, it aligns the trucks to park it properly against the dock leveler, so that you will not have a damage on the truck. Because if they come like this, then maybe the edge of the truck can go and hit on the shelter like what you have seen picture, or it can hit on the door. So if you have wheel gate, the truck drivers will not take any chance because it damages the vehicle as well. If they run over the tire on the wheel gate, even it can create big damage to the trucks. So this is the front part. The black thing is like when you have a telescopic lift dock leveler, there you will see a gap from the front side. So in that case, you can have this to give a better look by covering the pit. Then this is wheel choke, which you place. This is the simple arrangement to stop the vehicle. These are the fencing, which when you have a step dock leveler, you know that due to safety, this thing, EHS may ask for fixing this fencing on the side of the pit actually, because there is a step. When you have a step dock leveler where the container docks are open inside the warehouse, so there is a step, you have seen that in the container doors are opening like that. So that step is posing sometimes risk to the people in and around that area. So you need to have a fencing. It's not a big thing actually, even contractors can make it anyway. Just I'm showing that it is necessary. The bollards also, in many of your projects you are doing this. Amana is very smart. They don't buy any of these items from me. They make bollard, they make fencing, and even wheel gates is replaced by curbstones. So okay, this is the vehicle restraint system. This again we have a hydraulic system. This is what I have been telling you, to stop the creeping of the vehicle or premature departure. This is same hydraulic system. See, this is what normally happens actually. You know, the driver may not be seeing that the forklift is coming. So the moment it happens within a fraction of seconds actually, the forklift is coming and the driver taking the truck away. So this can happen. So that restraint video, I will just show you what is the purpose behind that, because these things, if we say if the client have a budget, it is good thing. Just for information for those who have not seen it before. Again, this is a hydraulic system. It is as expensive as a dock leveler actually, even though the system looks very simple. You can see there as well as on the small window. So the truck is parking, then automatically once you activate the sequence, so this will go and stop the truck first. So that you can see that this will come. It will sense the tire last portion. Then that lever would come out in between the tire. It goes. Then it press it back. Press the truck even back to the dock with its force. So now it is locked. You can't move it until you release the button on the control box like this. You can't take the trucks. Once it is removed, you get the green signal there on the traffic. Then from the rear view mirror, the driver can see, okay, it's green, now I can go. Then we have a lift table like this. Normally you can see that when you have a scissor lift where you need a high working range, or from the warehouse floor loading and loading happening, you need scissor lift because dock leveler has some limitations. And this is good for distribution houses where you keep small stuffs. It can go to any working range, like even 4 meter. Sometimes you need stacking of the cartons, boxes from ground floor to the mezzanine, even 4 meter, 5 meter, you can have the lift table. So it goes up and down and come back. So like this. So sometimes you keep the lift table on the floor, sometimes in place of the dock leveler. You can use it as a replacement to the dock leveler as well. So this is the manual loading platforms where you don't need the pit, rather you need some guiding rails, and this is moving actually. You don't have any specific area for the loading and unloading. wherever the truck parks, you can take the unit to the truck, fold it down, and it has 6 ton capacity as well. It's a 100% manual, no maintenance, and no hydraulic systems. It's all done by the spring mechanisms. Then we have the mobile ramps like this for the ground loading and loading, which is like 11 meter, 12 meter length in total actually. If you don't have a proper load dock platform, then you can use this mobile ramps. Then this is another some item which is coming under our accessory. When you have a trailer there and taking the engine out, you need this system to keep the container in position like this. A single or a combination you can use. Then standard rolling shutters are like this. We have a continuous profile rolling shutter and interlocked shutter. This one is like interlocked, which we use for heavy duty applications and larger sizes. So service, we are coming closing now. So basically, loading system is one of the European market leader, and as we have seen, we are into every aspects of loading and loading equipments business, and we are in this office we are fully equipped for the annual maintenance contract services, and 24/7 is available, and we have some very special packages for the annual maintenance contract as well. Once you are into an annual maintenance contract, you get parts for discounted rates, major parts which is damaged by accidents or something like that. Otherwise, we have packages starting like 2 visits in a year or 1 visit in a year with all throughout the year, anytime call out services. So these are all free actually, which can be prioritized availability of the parts, because when we have an AMC contract, we keep parts specifically for that project separate. We don't touch that parts actually. So we know what could be the normal parts requirement. For example, IKEA. We have special IKEA parts always in our store. We know what is required always there. So the moment they have a problem there, which is outside the AMC contract terms, we do it. Because since they have an AMC contract with us, it's still running. Every year they renew that AMC contract. So it is still running. So we don't trouble them. Whether it is accident damage or something like that, still we attend on the spot. So you can note down my number. Anyways, that is my mobile number 05555242237, and my email is sergeant@loading-systems.ae. And this is our Dubai office. We are in, as I told you, we are in Dubai Aviation City, DWC, and our corporate office in Lelystad, Netherlands. And I'm winding up this session with the same tagline: the loading system will take care of you. Thank you very much. If you have any questions on the drawing part or something, or you can contact me, or now if you are okay, I can go through it, but if you want to wind up, then we can wind up now. Then we have full materials available for you actually at any time, any point of time. And normally Mr. Harish and always used to call me actually. So we are always there with our proposals to merge your requirements to our products. Maximum from within our product range, within our flexibility, we do our part always. But there are some, of course, some weird specification also comes in between from projects, like some people make some cut and paste, copy paste specifications. Sometimes we find it difficult because we are manufacturer as well. Because if it is sometimes I used to tell him also, if I am not a manufacturer, then I could have met your requirement. Because for an agent or a dealership company, it is always seeing left and right actually. But for a manufacturer, we have some restrictions. Because if this product is not good, if the price is not good, if the product is not good, if the specification is not matching, if I am a dealer or an agent, I can go to other brand, I can go to other manufacturer, I can go to other people, I can go to another country and bring the stuff. But for we, you know, the other competitors, like we have some difficulties. Being a manufacturing company, we have some limitations in terms of specifications, prices. Ray is smiling when I say prices. So, but overall, you know that, you all know, most of you, I know most of you, and we are always very loyal with, I would say, I reiterate that word, we are always loyal with Amana, because most of the big projects we have done, at least in this office, is all from Amana. And I get business by referring your projects. So I take advantage of Amana, actually, when I meet other people also. So that is the kind of relationship we keep as from this office. Personally, I do keep with all your staff, management team, your owners, and even our owners. So we have a good rapport between each other. That's it. Thanks for spending your time with us, and happy weekend.